this was Solon from a standpoint of we didn't play well. We have a job to do. And until that job is done, which is getting a W back on the board, getting back on the good side of playing football, we're serious and we're not letting that go.
I don't know if I'm leading into something or not, but like a guy that we lost last week would say, put your big boy pants on and get back to work.
45, 40, 35, 40, he's gonna go!
It's time people feel us!
Red Junkies.
Day by day, he gets better and better, he gets better and better, team is If we die, we die!
Man, woman, and child in that. Put them in the aisle.
Bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Welcome into another episode of the Big Red Junkies. I am BJ. This is Jed. And you might miss Matt.
We all miss Matt.
We all miss Matt. He's with us in spirit.
Yes.
We have his picks. He's still going to kick our ass from
Probably.
all the way from Florida.
Probably.
Jackass.
Yeah, no shit.
It is Michigan State week. Sparty week.
This has always kind of been a fun one for me. Michigan State's, I don't know why it is, what it is. It just, maybe back in the day, I loved Mark D'Antonio, their former coach.
He was a great coach.
That I liked having him come into town, and he brought in a couple of good teams back in the day with Kirk Cousins and Le'Veon Bell.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like, and we beat the absolute snot piss out of them. So yeah, I've always kind of liked Michigan State week.
I think one of my most fun, memorable games was actually the last Mike Riley Michigan State game. That win, Brandon Riley catch down on the
that was the biggest party I've
down
ever
on the
been to in my
sideline,
life.
and the whole stadium's just waiting to find out whether or not Brandon Riley got pushed out of bounds or whether he went out on his own. Ah, that was a good time.
Oh God,
Getting chills thinking about the atmosphere.
Every time I hear "Let me clear my throat," it brings me back to when I was in the stadium and just like, oh my God, let's go.
I wish that we would have done more winning with the "Let me clear my throat" stuff because it would still be around and it would be like a staple. But it's kind of like, yeah, we didn't get to do that too much. So I think they kind of just let it go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh well. We don't have any recap stuff to get into because it's the bye week.
Correct.
The bye week, it sounds like, was something no one wanted in the building.
I think a little yes and no. I mean,
maybe the coaches definitely more than the players.
So it's kind of one of those situations where, you have something like what happened in the Michigan game, and you kind of get pushed around and you kind of want to get right back out there and punch somebody else in the mouth again.
Get the taste out of your mouth.
But all reports were it was some of the most physical practices that they've had, at least, those 3 practices that they did after the Michigan
game. And the most one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like the most good on good going against.
It can go both ways on that. I like it. We'll find out on Saturday.
I liken it to when your kid says something really bad, but like it's like the 3rd or 4th time they said it. And so you really have to wash their mouth out with soap, and you're like, no, you ain't getting water after this. You're going to sit with that for a minute.
Yeah.
If you caught any of the press conference, so we're recording this Tuesday night. If you caught any of the press conference today, the players almost seemed like they were still sitting with that soap in their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
They were, Rocco Spindler got up there and he's basically like, yeah, who's got questions?
Yeah.
I'm not up here to be nice. I'm not up here to fuck around. Let me answer these questions, get back out there because I'm going to hit somebody else tonight.
Yeah, and every answer I'm going to give you, it's going to be like 3 words and then next question.
Very different than some of the other interviews that he's done.
Yeah.
And other press conferences. Even Dylan Raiola, you could tell he was kind of trying to hold back his charismatic self. But like they all just kind of had this sullen, we got to do things the right way. You saw Luke Lindenmeyer get a look, like he always gets this glow in his eyes when he starts talking about him and Dylan Raiola's connection, and he gets super excited. And then it was like, all right, but I'm up here to be serious, so like let's not talk about that too much.
And I know what you meant by what you said, but you said sullen. It wasn't a mopey situation where it's like a woe is me.
No.
I just wanted to make sure to clarify that.
This was sullen from a standpoint of we didn't play well. We have a job to do.
Yeah.
And until that job is done, which is getting a W back on the board, getting back on the good side of playing football, we're serious and we're not letting that go.
I don't know if I'm leading into something or not, but like a guy that we lost last week would say, put your big boy pants on and get back to work. I mean, that was one of the things that I heard him say many, many times. And
You're talking about Matt Verzel.
yes, and that's
A buddy of yours.
Yeah, and that's I can just hear him being like, "All right, you got your dick kicked in." That's what he would say. And
He did not mince words.
no, you always knew where you stood with him. But he, put your big boy pants and get back to work. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you, so let's go.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace. That dude. Since that happened last Thursday, more people that I talk football with on a regular basis that don't have any, they've never given any indication in that they know any former players, anything like that, any ins. They all had stories of going into Paisans or running into him at a game or running into him out on the street or at a Scott football game, things like that. And he just he treated everybody like, hey, you matter. You matter right now. I'm talking to you. I care about you talking to me right now.
He had time for everybody, and
Very cool.
He would always talk to you like you guys have known each other your entire lives.
Yeah,
and
he's a big part of why this show is where it is.
Well, he's not just a big part, but he's whether you like this show. If you like this show, I'll put it this way: if you like this show, thank Matt Verzel. If you hate this show, blame Matt Verzel. Because he's literally the reason why this show exists, because he's the one that got me to go into podcasts. One of the days that I was up there, he's like,
This is 10 years ago now.
Roughly, yeah.
9 or 10.
Yeah, he told me, he's like, I'm getting in with this Parkville Media back in the day. They got absorbed by Hurrdat with Pat and JT, who used to be on Sweet 98. And he's like, we're looking for a bunch of shows. We're creating some stuff, and you should get in contact with them. He gave me their numbers, and I knew Pat and JT a little bit. And I called them, and they said, Matt told me to call you guys. And so I went in and talked to them, and we got it all set up, and it's grown and grown and grown from there. And here we are. I mean, I would have never thought about doing anything. He's like, oh, you'll be great at this. Now, I don't know if I'm great at this. I'm just doing what I can.
Oh, yeah, you are.
But but without him and without my small relationship with him, we wouldn't be here. So
that's awesome, man. Thank you and rest in peace, Matt Verzel.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Guys, he would probably also say, get back to work.
Yeah, but it fucking sucks. God damn.
Yeah. Far too young.
Anyway.
So many crazy coincidences with the numbers and things, too.
Yeah.
Being 51, 51, that whole thing.
Yep.
It's wild. But if you haven't, check out Paisans while they're still open. There's there's no way that place is going to be the same, even if it does stick around. There's no way it's going to be the same without him there.
Nope. But go support it.
Some of the best pizza in town.
Oh, absolutely.
No doubt. All right. Let's jump into Michigan State. What do we know about their offense?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say Jonathan Smith, I kind of gave him a little bit of shit at the beginning of the season when we were doing our season preview show, and I totally brain farted the fact that this is only his second year. And I'd kind of like to, I already talked a little bit about Mark D'Antonio. I'd like to give Michigan State a little bit of credit for actually hiring respectable head coaches in the state of Michigan, unlike other teams that, hire supposed Boy Scouts, at least according to their dumb fuck fans that think that their former cheating head coaches are Boy Scouts. But, again, I just wanted to give Michigan State a little bit of credit for hiring respectable coaches.
Well, I mean, they did fuck up the Mel Tucker one.
Well, true. I guess.
You couldn't really have seen coming down the street what was coming down the tracks. It was coming down the tracks with him, but
at least with Jonathan Smith and Mark D'Antonio, they did a good job. As far as their offense, I mean, it's first and foremost Aidan Chiles, their quarterback. He's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the entire conference. This isn't shitting on anybody, but he is one of the most athletic quarterbacks in a conference, maybe even in the country. But specifically in the Big Ten, he's very athletic. He's roughly Dylan's size. He's 6'3", 225.
He's almost identical size to Sorsby.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, I'll admit I haven't watched a ton of their tape yet. From what I've seen, he's very similar to Sorsby in that he's going to yank it down and run less reluctantly than what we saw last or 2 weeks ago from.
Yep, he's definitely
Bryce
very
Underwood.
athletic and mobile. last year was his first full year starting, and he struggled a little bit. He's a junior now. He just turned 20 years old a couple weeks ago. So he's a very young junior in college. But last year he threw for 59%. He only had 4 games where he threw 200 or more yards in a game, and he was 13 of 11 in touchdown and interception ratio. So, he really needed to make an improvement this year. And so far this year, he's at 68.6%, almost 10% more than last year. He's already had 3 of the 4 games go over 200 yards, and he's at 9-1 touchdown interception. So he's definitely been able to take that jump forward, which is exactly what Michigan State needed.
And he's a guy they've been excited about since he followed coach from Oregon State.
Oh, Oregon State was super excited for him, when he first initially went there.
He was a high 4-star guy.
Yes. He like I said, he is mobile. He does have 9 runs of 10 yards or more, but he does have 4 fumbles. So when he does scramble,
gets a little loose with the ball.
Exactly. So hopefully we can take advantage of that a little bit. Their running game as a whole with the running backs, I don't really think that there's really a whole lot to focus on. Their leading rusher is Mekhi Frazier. He has 267 yards on the season with 2 touchdowns. The biggest thing with their running game is they are not a receiving threat out of the backfield. Frazier himself has 4 catches for -8 yards, and they have 2 running backs that have 7 total catches for 8 total yards.
Jesus.
So we don't really have to worry about anything like that as far as that type of an offense that they run. We just have to more worry about the quarterback getting out of there. Like we've kind of been able to give up with, like you said, Swordsby and Underwood 2 weeks ago. So wide receivers, they did have a really good freshman last year, Nick Marsh. And they brought in a bunch of wide receivers to transfer wide receivers to help, but none of them really have, except for the only one that has is Omari Kelly. He leads the team in receiving with 317 yards and 1 touchdown. Nick Marsh is doing really well too. He's the second receiver. He's got 222 yards for 3 touchdowns. But those are the only 2 guys that have double-digit receptions through 3 games.
That's what I was just noticing.
Or through 4 games.
That's a low number.
So, those are the 2 guys that they tend to throw to more often than anything else. And again, they don't really throw to the running back. We've got 6 or 7 guys with double-digit receiving yards, including our running backs. So we spread the ball around. They really don't. And considering the way our secondary is, I think that benefits us very, very greatly.
Yeah, the way we drape them, they probably will actually have to spread it around a little bit if they're going to make completions on us.
Yes. Their offensive line is, they replaced 4 offensive linemen to start the season. Their left tackle is out for about a month. He got injured in the USC game a couple weeks ago. So they're going to be shuffling around a lot. But their center is really good. Matt Glubin, he's their top offensive lineman. He's the second best offensive grade on PFF in the conference. Second best run blocking grade and 9th best pass blocking grade in the Big Ten. So
he's pretty decent.
He's good.
Yeah.
It's just that the guys around him are either injured or have a lot to be desired.
This is going to be like that Northwestern line. What was that, 5 or 6 years ago, where they had that left tackle that was a first-round guy?
Skronsky.
And then literally nothing else on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be that bad because it's Northwestern, but
yeah.
When you look at their offensive rankings just across the board nationally, they're very unimpressive. Total scoring offense is 48th, but they're 72nd in rush offense.
Pedestrian at best.
76th in pass. Total offense is 80th.
Yeah.
Whereas, I heard a really funny rant by someone that called into a radio show that I like to listen to yesterday afternoon. I'm not going to talk about him, but I don't want to name him, but I was talking about how Dylan Raiola was a detriment in holding back the offense, and that Holgorsen had lost his touch and wasn't a good OC anymore. I'm kind of summarizing here, but that's basically what he was saying. It's pretty crazy that we're the second best passing offense in the country and number 1 in the conference. A conference full of good quarterbacks this year.
You're going to say that a guy that has the 4th best completion percentage in the country at 75.6%, he's a detriment to a team?
Well, Just imagine if we had a better quarterback. I can't believe how good we'd be.
Get fucked, dude.
Or an OC that was calling plays correctly.
Oh, wait. I said get fucked. Maybe some people are going to think that I'm being offensive.
No.
I'm being too offensive for Michigan fans that are tuning in. I'm so sorry for saying the F word. Fucking pussies.
The one place that I will give any credence to is the red zone. And that was hammered this week in the press conferences. Both Rhule, both coordinators, well, not necessarily Butler, but then Dylan also got hit with a red zone question too. And it sounds like the red zone and the run game were the primary function and focus for this bye week.
Run game on both sides, offense and defense. Yes.
That actually breeds a question for me that how much does it might play both ways here, but how much does a lack of a rushing defense or a stout rushing defense this year hinder the development of our rush offense? A, but B, so like when we're going up against good opponents, but B, how much does, in my opinion, a very poor rush offense this year without a real stud running back or two being able to get those reps in there against them in practice, how much is that hindering our rush defense?
A lot. I mean,
especially when you talk about that second level and third level stuff, like what was hurting us in the Michigan game.
How often do you hear specifically in football, iron sharpens iron? I mean, you or tackling. You can't learn how to tackle without tackling.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank you NCAA for, making a lot of teams look silly tackling for the first quarter of the season.
But, so you have to do it in practice for you to go against it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what practice is there for. So, and if you don't do it very well, do one side of that very well, then you're not really helping anybody.
Because the Michigan game to me felt like a perfect Mike Tyson quote moment of everybody's got to play until they get punched in the mouth. They got punched in the mouth. Now I want to see how they get back up off the mat.
Yep.
That's why I'm excited for this game, because as you just laid out, at least on the offensive side of the ball, the defense should be able to get right a little bit against these guys.
I mean, they definitely have opportunities too. The offensive line does not look great. Their running game is I do like their quarterback. Aidan Chiles is really good, but they also only have 2 wide receivers. So
how much of a benefit do you think it is that we've already played 2 pretty stellar rushing quarterbacks, like dual threat quarterbacks that we've, yes, Sorsby got us pretty good. And yes, there was one breakaway run for Michigan boy. Never remember his name. Bryce Underwood.
How can you forget the number 1 quarterback in the country?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Apparently
he's better than Dylan Raiola, according to some dumb fuck on the Cover 3 podcast.
He's better than everybody. So everybody that's ever played the game already in 4 games.
Yeah. He's Michael Jordan. It's a fact. No, but for me, that's what it's going to come down to on the defensive side. Is I want to see how much they learned from playing a really good offensive team that was just pounding it down their throats.
Yep.
On their defensive side of the ball, what are they going to challenge us with?
Not a goddamn thing.
It's like that.
They are bad.
Well, I mean, they do have a redeeming quality. Like they're a top 50 rush defense. They're only giving up 120 yards a game.
Yeah, they're bad. They're as far as in the conference goes, they're last in pass defense, 12th in run defense, second to last in total defense, and second to last in scoring defense.
Yeah, it's rough.
Like last year, they had 19 sacks on the season. 14 of them were in the non-conference games. Only 5 of them were in conference. So far this year, they have 6, and they're all in the non-conference.
Not to pour salt on the wound for them, too, but the teams that they've played so far, Western Michigan, Boston College, which they did beat in overtime, Youngstown State, is that YSU?
Yep.
And USC.
Yep. Now, to be fair, as bad as their pass defense is, they held Miava to like 234 passing yards.
Okay.
So, and Miava is having a great season. He's got, he's right there with Dylan Raiola in almost every statistical category.
Yes.
So,
and he's a Heisman candidate.
Yes. And they held him to only 234 passing yards. So they at least showed up in that game. The downside is Miava he was 20 of 26 for 3 touchdowns. So he was very efficient.
Yes.
With his 230 something yards. But they also had 290 rushing yards, USC did. So it's kind of like, give or take.
Not that I'm trying to preview USC at this point, but how like we've talked a lot about how their defense was much improved last year, should be even more improved this year.
They're not.
Michigan State still scored 31 on them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, is that telling of what Michigan State might actually have, or telling of what USC might be?
Maybe both.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair, and I don't know anything about USC at this point. We haven't previewed them at all, so.
Yeah, I haven't. I've watched a couple of their games, but as far as doing deep dives into them, I haven't really paid that close attention. As far as two other things on defense, they do have two quality linebackers, Jordan Hall and Wayne Matthews. The downside is that Wayne Matthews might not play. He was carted off the field against USC 2 weeks ago. He did practice a little bit this week. They're not 100% sure if he's going to be able to play. I don't know. And then I will say they do have a redshirt freshman transfer from Wisconsin, Anilu Lafele. He's an edge rusher. He's not a starter. He plays basically like 14 to 17 snaps in all four of the games so far. I would equate him, and I know that saying this name is going to create a lot of, screw you, you asshole. But he's a lot like James Williams was for us last year.
Okay.
Where he's kind of a spot guy, but when he comes in, he makes plays.
That's fair.
So like I said, he only has a handful of snaps every game, under 20 in the 4 games that he's played in each game. He only has 6 tackles on the season, but he does have 2 sacks, 2 other quarterback hurries, and he forced a fumble. So,
what'd you say, 15 or 17 snaps?
Each game.
Oh, God. I thought you were talking total.
No.
The dude's made the tackle on half the plays he's been in the game?
Yeah, no.
Jesus.
No. He had 14 snaps in 2 games, 17 in the other 2 games.
Gotcha.
Again, each individual game. But so when he's in, he's making his name known, or his presence felt.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah,
not necessarily to that kid this year because
because he doesn't actually see the field.
Nothing.
Yeah,
other than run his mouth on Twitter.
So if you see, I'm pretty sure I was actually looking at it earlier. I thought I had it typed in here. His number is 11. So if you see him come out there for on the edge for Michigan State,
he's firing. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's firing.
He's gonna look to do something. So
they also rank 93rd in the country in red zone defense. Maybe that will help our trying to come up in the red zone offense category.
Yeah.
They're 93rd and we're 99th in offense. So maybe we'll ride a ship a little bit there.
Yeah, their defense is not good, and that in order for, hell, they're 3-1 right now, and you think that all they need is 3 more wins. And especially if you look at their schedule and how bad their defense is, I don't think they get them. I don't think that they're going to make a bowl game.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's going to be a tough road for them.
Looking at the special teams comparisons, it actually looks like if this turns out to be a low-scoring game, this could be a special teams battle of the century. They've got good special teams, it looks like,
they're number 1 in punting average.
Net punts, yeah. Yep.
53 yards a game per punt. So,
that's very impressive.
Which might come up later in a question.
Well, hopefully our defense shored some things up and we're actually going to make the punt a little bit.
Yes.
Is there anything else that we should be looking out for this game on them?
No, not really. Like I said, Aidan Chiles is special. He's a really good player. But they don't have enough.
He's their second leading attempts in rushers.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
He's only got 154 yards in the season. So it's not like he's doing a ton, but he's broken a couple. And
even, I brought up how Chiles has 9 rushes of 10 yards or more. Their running back, who again doesn't have anything really to stand up on, he also has 9 rushes of 10 yards or more. So it's kind of one of those situations where they can break a couple. They won't go the distance like a Justice Haynes for Michigan, but at the same time,
not a lot of guys are.
True. That's fair. But they can break a handful, but it's kind of one of those, like, either they're going to get 12 or they're going to get 1.
I like that. I like the one side a lot more.
I completely
agree.
I like
the one side a lot more.
Chiles has been sacked 10 times this year, so.
They're of their top 3 leading rushers, they average 4.7. Chiles is 3.9. And then this Tulis, who's only rushed 25 times, averages 5.1.
Yeah.
That might help our rush defense a little bit.
To be fair to Chiles, it's 3 point whatever.
That's going to be net with his sacks.
If you take out the sacks, it's like 8.
Okay, that's fair.
So
What you expect from a scrambling quarterback.
100%.
Cool. Well, before we get into the questions, let's hear a word from Trax.
Do you like chicken? Do you like the world's best chicken? I happen to love chicken, and I'm here to tell you, Trax Lounge in Omaha has the world's best chicken, and that's a scientific fact. Actually, ever since 1965, Trax has been proudly serving the world's best chicken right here in Omaha at their original location just north of Center on 1506 South 60th Street. But honestly, their chicken is so good, they've officially flown the coop and opened a second brand new location out in West Omaha on 18111 Q Street. If you like your taste buds, you want to treat them right, get over to Trax today and get some of the world's best chicken. If you really like your taste buds, get the hot buffalo mixed with garlic parm.
Let's jump into the questions.
All right. Speaking of sacks and how we need to get some, especially against a bad offensive line, who will have more sacks, Nebraska, Michigan State, or a push? Both teams have 6 sacks on the season. Both teams have allowed 10 sacks on the season. As far as both teams having 6 sacks, I brought up how all 6 of Michigan State sacks are in the non-conference. Only 1 sack between the two teams is against a Power 4 school, and that's the one we got against Michigan.
Yikes.
So it's, as much as we're kind of criticizing Michigan State for their lack, we're not that great at it either. So
here's what I'm going to say, and you're going to be shocked by my answer. I'm going with Nebraska here because
wait, hold on. You set that up. You're going to be shocked by my answer.
This is totally sarcastic.
Okay, I just wanted to.
You're going to be totally shocked by the fact that I'm going with Nebraska in this.
That's why I was like, but nobody is shocked by that.
My reasoning why on that is that I think that if they were working, well, they obviously were. They had to work with Dylan Raiola on the faults that he had in that Michigan game over this last 2 weeks. And the biggest thing that I think that he would point to himself for doing too much was holding the ball though too long.
I mean, he is a detriment to the team.
Yeah, he's fucking asshole. I do think you're going to see maybe his completion percentage even take a bit of a snag hit this week by getting rid of some balls that maybe he has some pressure on. That's got to be something that he gets in his repertoire because we can't keep losing 6, 7, 8 yards because he's trying to make the right throw.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to get as complicated as that. I think with their injuries and them really only having one good offensive lineman, it better, let me rephrase it that way, it better be Nebraska. So I'm taking Nebraska.
I mean, he's due to run into at least 1 sack in a game.
I hope so.
I would think. I would think.
Question number 2.
Did Matt give you answers on these?
I'm sorry. Yes, he picked Nebraska as well.
Okay, he picked Nebraska. That makes me feel good. All right, cool.
So this next question, you're going to laugh at the number, and I already know what you're going to pick.
Hold up, real quick. I completely forgot. First of all, if you haven't already, please like the show, subscribe to the show, ring the bell for the show, but also drop a comment in. We're going to have these listed out there.
Yes.
The comment will be there. All these questions are listed right there. Either comment under that or start your own comment, copy and paste that in, follow along with us, and answer these questions. We love to throw these out on the show with you guys.
I love spending most of my Sunday counting up your picks. No, I really do, actually. And BJ knows this. I'm a stats dork, and I like looking at this shit, so I really do actually like doing it. So
good old bean counter over here.
Again, the number is going to sound a little wonky, but I'm doing it because of what they've already done it to another player. Passing yards by Dylan Raiola. I put it just flat out at 300, so 299.5. Michigan State allows 263 per game. They're dead last in the conference, but they did hold the number 1 passer in the conference to 234. So as much as I wanted to put this number higher, Dylan also averages 284 per game. I really wanted to put this number higher because of how bad Michigan State's pass defense is. But considering what they held Maava to, I was like, you know what? 300 sounds about right. So
I get that, but they gave up almost 300 yards on the ground to USC.
Yep.
And so USC was just having their way with them. They ran the ball 40 times in that game against them.
Yep.
Nebraska's not running the ball 40 times on Saturday.
I mean, if it's something we have to work on, will we emphasize it? That who knows?
You might be right.
Oh no, I'm taking the over because we're going to throw the ball all over the place on them. Matt also took the over, by the way.
I feel like it's going to go over just simply because you put it right at 300. I think that if you had it like 325, that might make me question a little bit.
Oh, my first thought was 325, 350. But again,
but he doesn't have a history of doing that.
Correct.
Even in
too.
games where he could, he didn't have a history of doing that. Yep. They take they do the old take the foot off the pedal after they get up a couple.
Yep. So it sucks because we're all taking the same thing so far, but whatever.
We've all answered the same way.
Question 3 is running back carries. I brought this question back from the Cincinnati game. Running back carries by guys not named Emmett. So if they're listed as a running back on the roster, so it still would be like Mosey and stuff like that.
Yeah.
7.5 carries.
I'm going over, and that's going to be an easy over for me because that was one edict that the coaches had this week. Find me number 2, and they're going to run the shit out of him, I think.
Just for breaking things down, only one other guy on the team has double-digit carries on the entire season, and that's Quentin Ives at 16. The average per game is 9.25, but that was also inflated from the Akron and Houston Christian game,
where Emmett didn't play for 3 quarters.
Basically an entire game, combined.
Yeah.
4 quarters, but yeah.
Getting double digits, I think that's going to be a thing.
Well, I don't even have it at double digits. I have a 7.5.
I think it's going to be double digits.
Okay.
I think 10 is a good number on that, and I think there's going to be a target for them intentionally.
Okay. Because I think, in the Cincinnati and Michigan game combined, it was only 6.
Let me ask you this, too, because there's been a lot of talk amongst the local media. There's been a lot of talk, especially after Rhule's press conference yesterday where he was asked directly about the tackle situation. You hear Rocco Spindler in what he addressed as far as he's like, I'm not going to speak to the rest of the team or the tackle situation. He was kind of quasi-asked about the tackle situation because obviously that's a major key that everybody wants to know. Hey, is Elijah Pritchett going to get a shot? Is there going to be any shake-up on the right side?
It Monday.
No, he didn't answer it, but he also didn't answer it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If they were just simply, I'm getting there. If they were just simply going back with the same thing we've seen, I think he would have, he's pretty firmly answered that in every press conference up until now.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, typically he gives a very firm answer. Typically not that they're married to the depth chart, but they did release the depth chart, and Gatula's still number 1, Corcoran's 2, Pritchett's 3.
Do you remember the last 2 years after the 3rd or 4th game, they kind of just said, fuck it with the depth chart and didn't really adjust it much anymore.
That's why almost every time before the season when they release the first depth chart, you always send it to me and Matt, and you get so geeked up about it. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't care.
Cool, don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Because it doesn't, they have proven that it doesn't fucking matter.
It's true. It's true.
But it was kind of telling with Rhule's answer this week where he was like, yeah, I think we have a good idea what we're going to do, but we're not going to really talk about it right now. It's like, okay, so you basically, without saying it, you said Pritchett's probably starting.
Well, I agree. I agree with you that I want it to be Pritchett. I know that we've had this conversation. You don't necessarily like Pritchett any more than anybody else.
And again, it's more of I haven't seen enough to say definitively that he is absolutely the best player. I just don't know yet.
And that's totally fine. I thought Mitch Sherman made a really, really good point late last week. I can't remember what show he was on. He was doing a guest appearance. Made a really, really good point. I think it was actually on with Damon and Ravi when asked about the tackle situation and these things and that. He made the point that, sure, Pritchett hasn't looked great when he's come in the games, but when has he been given a chance to come in the games and be set up for success?
You're right.
He's coming in hard moments where things are already either out of control because we're doing so well, or when he came in against Michigan, Gunnar Gatula had been getting just absolutely straight fucked in the face for 3 or 4 straight possessions, and they were like, hey, get out there. And then the first play, and the kids, he made this point too, the kid's out there terrified of making a mistake. And the first play he gets on the field, it's not even his fault, and he gets a fucking false start. which was the wrong call.
It was the right call, but whatever.
You're the first person I've heard say that.
I heard some other
including Dean Blandino, who was on the call.
They kind of were. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. My whole thing is with this. I think that if you give him a chance to go out there and start, give him some confidence this week to come in and do it, we might finally be able to show what he can actually do from a physicality standpoint.
Yep.
There was too much talk in the offseason, especially when he first got here in the spring, about how much he looked advanced over a lot of our other guys. You know, I'll never forget the way Steve Sipple was just gushing over watching him versus Riley Van Poppel in the tractor pull competition, and how he talked about his stance and the way that he was working once he got, tired and things like those types of things that you weren't hearing about any other offensive lineman. And then it's like, okay, but is it just simply about penalties? Is there something else out there? Is it the brotherhood thing? Is it all that stuff? Like, are they finally just going to put the best football player on the field and give him an opportunity?
I remember one of the very first practices, Michael Severe was there, and he actually got in trouble for tweeting out the number of the jersey numbers of the quote unquote starting offensive lineman. And, but he just flat out said, he goes, Elijah.
He get his hand slapped?
Yeah. Yeah, he got yeah. But he flat out said, Elijah Pritchett looks different than everybody else on the line. Just
and he's a guy who knows ball.
Yeah.
Of all the guys in the local media that have seen way more than just Nebraska, he's the guy that knows ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want to see him prove it. I can't say definitively that he's the best option because he hasn't had the opportunity to prove it yet. So, I don't know. We'll see. I am going to go with the over on carries by guys not named Emmett.
Tell me Matt went under.
He went over.
So we've all three been on the exact same.
I'm more going over because I'm kind of hoping and or thinking that this game might be out of hand and Emmett's going to be on the bench. So,
wow. Now I know where the end of this show's going. Holy cow.
Maybe not as much as what it was for the Akron and Houston Christian game, but in the fourth quarter, I think
that's fair.
Question 4, passing yards by Michigan State. This is going to be a sticker shock one also as far as you hear the number. I'll tell you the number in a second, but Michigan State averages 220 per game. Nebraska is the only team in the country allowing less than 100 per game. And
they're allowing 75, by the way.
Yeah.
Not just less than 100. It's a whole quarter less than 100.
Nebraska allowed 105 against Michigan, which is the most on the season against Nebraska. So basically, I'm going to say, does Michigan State get more passing yards than Michigan? So I put the number at 105.5.
I want to ask you about this because I understand the whole, it's the first game versus the fourth game, fifth game, all those different things. Sorsby has gone off since he got done playing Nebraska.
You know who the number 1 rated quarterback on Pro Football Focus is in college football?
Is it him?
It is.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he has the game against Nebraska on his resume. He's the number 1 rated quarterback.
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
Well, it was brought up to John Butler today in his press conference, and he played it off like he didn't know the stat. There's no way in fuck that guy is like a stat nerd. He knows all the other stats. He can rattle off about all the other things they've done. There's no way he's not stacking that and saying, hey, did you guys see what Sorsby did this week?
Yeah.
See what Sorsby did this week?
That's one of those. I'm just going to unzip my pants a little bit. I'm not going to slap the whole thing on the table.
I do think, and I don't know if you caught his whole press conference, if you watched it or just listened to it. I think the last 2 weeks, he has gotten questions about things that he kind of just, I think he takes it a little sideways from the media, just a little bit. He's like, I don't know why you're asking me these questions. I want to rip you up right now, but I know boss is going to be on me if I do that.
Yeah.
Because he got asked 2 weeks ago before the Michigan game about how, it was, the question wasn't, it was actually Mitch Sherman. The question wasn't, I don't think, intended to be disrespectful, but he's our defensive coordinator. People need to remember that he is the defensive coordinator. Snow is here to help, and he's DN coach-ish, co-head football coach. And you've
Jack of all trades coach.
And you've got Addison on the back end, who was a former defensive coordinator. And the question was basically asked, like, how are you guys coming up with the schemes and things like that? And, asking how much input they're getting on things and this and that. It's like, guys, I know that there's that experience back there. There's all these things, but stop acting like he's not the full-blown D coordinator.
Yeah.
Like, he is. This is his baby. He's been given the keys, no different than Dana Holgorsen. And just because there's other people with former D coordinator titles doesn't mean that he's not the full-blown guy.
No.
And he took that a little bit sideways. You could see it on his face, his body language, everything. And then this question that came up today was kind of the same variety. He was just like, I don't know why you're asking me that. It was about explosive runs, and he was very quick to correct on certain stats and like explosives versus, and we're not giving up any explosives in the pass game and all these different. It's like that's part of why I'm like, oh, he knows what Sorsby's stats are. I find it interesting that those types of things aren't being talked about more.
Yeah. So Matt went over on
what was the number again? You put it at
basically are they gonna get more than Michigan at 105? So 105.5. They averaged 220 on the season. Again, Matt went over. I'm gonna say like this is one of those like at some point the dam has to break on that. I agree. I agree.
Wait, are you going over?
I kind of wanted to wait for you.
Well, just for competitive sake, I'm going to go under.
I was going to do
and
the same
just
thing.
be the homer and go against Matt, hoping that I could catch him on a score for once.
Yeah, I kind of want to do the same thing. I think next week I'm going to go over if I ask a question like
now
this.
Now if we both go under, Matt's definitely going to win this one.
I know. I'm actually am going to go under. I really wanted to go under anyway, so it's kind of like whatever.
The biggest reason for me, just being analytical for real, not just being a homer, is that they only have 2 wide receivers with double-digit catches. We have 3 starting caliber corners. Plus, we just plain and simple don't give it up on the back end.
Yeah.
So if their offensive line is as porous as
I hate it when it's made it
sound. Jesus. Yikes. Woof. If their offensive line is as poor as it sounds, we're gonna put him in some scramble moments, things like that. I don't see it happening. I think if we're gonna give up chunk yards, it's gonna be on the ground again like it was against Michigan.
Yeah, I agree. So this can get a little wonky with this one. I mean, it's kind of weird to follow up that question with this one. Who will have more receiving yards? Michigan State's Omari Kelly, the leading receiver for them, or Ja'Cory Barney?
Wow.
Omari Kelly averages 79.3 yards per game. He had 133 versus USC.
Wait, we need to spin the wheel between Ja'Cory Barney and Isaiah Hunter and Dane Key and find out which one of it's their game for this week.
That's true. So, I mean,
because not one of them goes off, not 2 of them go off in the same week.
Well, especially back to back, and Barney went off. So I kind of like taking Barney in this aspect.
To have more than the Michigan State receiver?
Yes. So, no, I'm just saying I like having Barney in this question for this.
Yes.
So, by the way, Matt did take Barney. But again, they're basically the same because Omari Kelly is averaging 79.3. Barney averages 75.3.
See, but my thing on it is I feel like Barney's coming on. Like Barney's like they're figuring out this is the whole.
But if he's coming on, then will they, double him and have somebody else open? Who knows?
Is Dane Key the guy you can go leave open though?
No, but neither is Hunter. So
that's fair. That's fair. I don't see it as much from.
And
Dane
then if
Key,
all 3 of them are covered, Lindenmeyer's open. So.
That's very true. Oh, sweet feet bowling ball. I've got to go with Barney just because I feel like he's been that guy. What was the Houston Texans wide receiver that destroyed his leg got destroyed last year?
Oh, Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, yeah. When Holgorsen came in and he was talking about how because he was a Houston guy under Holgorsen and was talking about that. There's a reason that he talked about that, and he knows exactly how to use that player in his system.
So it kind of sounds weird for me to take Omari Kelly for Michigan State, considering I took the under at 105.5 for passing yards. But maybe I'm going to take Kelly to make sure I get at least one of these 2 points.
Potentially.
So
the way that I'm looking at that too is this could be a game where they're like, hey, Key and Isaiah, we need to get you guys going.
Yep.
We need to get you guys going.
So I'm going to take Kelly just for that aspect.
Do you see more deep balls in this game? He's been really good with the deep ball.
You know what? I'm gonna answer it the way that Dana Holgerson kind of answered a question earlier today.
I'm gonna take what the defense gives me.
Bingo. I call plays that work. Yeah. I take what the defense gives me.
But he's lost it. He doesn't have it anymore.
He's not the detriment. Dylan Rhule is the detriment.
Well, no, but he also said that Dana had lost it. He doesn't know how to call plays anymore.
By the way, in case you didn't catch it earlier, when we say stuff like that about Dylan and Dana, those are
we are being sarcastic.
They're jokes, so don't.
And we're making fun of other stupid people.
Yes.
I said other because I'm not saying we're smart.
No. Question number 6. What will be more? The average punt yards by Michigan State, average yards per punt by Michigan State, or Nebraska's third down conversion percentage? Michigan State, like we said earlier, is number 1 in the country at 53 yards per punt. Nebraska is at 50% on third downs. For reference, Michigan State allows 45% on third down.
117th in the country.
So they're not good on third downs, third down conversion defense. We are at 50%. They are really good at punting the ball. Which number will be higher?
How are they in giving up chunk plays on the defense?
Give me a second.
Do we know that?
I do.
Is that a quick stat to grab? Because that to me is going to tell me how many
you
third downs we're going to get
plays,
into.
Passing plays, or scrimmage plays?
Yeah, scrimmage.
Okay. Michigan State, as far as giving up 10 plus yards plays, they are 14th in the conference at 53.
Ooh.
20 plus yard plays, they are 14th in the conference at 18.
Okay. You've given me enough to answer my question.
30 plus yard plays, they are 16th in the conference at 9.
Oh my. So I do see the ball going deep, just as an FYI. I am also going to go ahead and say Nebraska's taking this one on the third down. They have been wildly efficient in the third downs, except against Michigan.
Correct.
We've already talked about this in the Michigan recap. They might have been the best front seven or the second best front seven, 1A, 1B, to Penn State that we're going to play all year.
Yep.
I am taking Nebraska in this one, and I don't think it's going to be close.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be close because if their punter is that good, getting over 53%, let's just say that Michigan State hits their average, that's a really good day.
So are we going net punting?
Punting yards per punt.
Okay. Yeah. Because their net, it's still number 1 in the country, but it's only 48.9.
Okay. Well, like I said, I've got, as far as yards
his
per
average,
punt, is 53. So
Ryan Eckley's average is 53, yeah.
Okay. I'm going with Nebraska as well. I do think in they were so good against, and I know what the competition is. People can say whatever the fuck they want. That's fine. Still, converting third downs at the clip that they were doing is remarkable. They were so good against Cincinnati, Akron, and Houston Christian that
Cincinnati's been good since we played them. But
I think that how bad they were against Michigan, specifically on third down, was more of an anomaly, not the norm. And I think we bounce back on that aspect. So yes, I'm taking Nebraska.
I'd be interested to see how many third and longs we were in that Michigan game. Because we were in third and long.
I have it. I'll
sacks
later.
At least 7 times.
Yeah. Of our 7 sacks, I think 4 of them were on third down.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I just don't see their defense being able to hold up like that, and we're going to go back to being super efficient.
Yep. Question number 7, total yards by Emmett Johnson, 99.5. Will he get to 100? He's 5th in the conference with 116 yards per game. Michigan allows, at least just as far as rushing yards, Michigan allows 120 rushing yards per game. Matt took the under on this one, by the way.
Total yards?
Total
for
yards.
120 for the game?
I got 99.5.
99.5. Total yards.
Yep.
Over.
Okay.
Easy over.
So this one's hard for me because I had already said with our second or third question, as far as how many carries will guys not named Emmett, I already said that Emmett might be sitting on the bench somewhat early in this game. So basically, will he ball out in the first half? I think that they are going to try to emphasize a running game specifically early. and I think he might break 1 or 2. So I'm going to go with the over as well.
That's I think that's no brainer to me personally, because you extract the Michigan game from it, and he was averaging what, 150, 140.
I mean, even right now he's averaging 116th, and he's 5th in the conference.
Yeah.
For total yards.
Yeah, that's
so.
To me, that's
Even
it's
at
a
the Michigan
no-brainer.
game, he still had a good game. I mean, he still had 60, 70 yards.
Yeah,
So it's not like it was horrendous.
yeah. I think you could set that line at 125, and I'd still be over.
Okay. Last question for me. Who will allow more pressure? So this is on the offensive line. Who will allow more pressures according to Pro Football Focus? Nebraska, Michigan State, or a push? Nebraska is one of 2 teams in the Big Ten that allow more pressures than they create. 36-35. The other team is UCLA. UCLA fucking sucks.
At everything.
Yes. It's especially hiring head coaches. Michigan State allows 40. We allow 36. Michigan State creates 49. We create 35. So, who will allow more pressures according to Pro Football Focus? Nebraska, Michigan State, or push? Matt took Nebraska, by the way.
Why do I feel like I'm just following Matt on everything? We should have waited to say who Matt took.
You're right. I
Although
mean, I
that's
did a
unfair
little
'cause you did
bit. I did a little bit.
it.
but
Man, I want to take Nebraska just because I do think that, like,
again, allow more pressure. So this is kind of a negative towards Nebraska if you pick Nebraska.
okay, no, I am going with Michigan State. I was thinking of your question backwards.
Yeah.
I do think we're going to get pressures on him. It's just like it's going to have to happen. I do think that a little bit of going against an elite offensive line like we did in the last game is going to have helped that, the iron sharpening iron aspect. You saw our best rated player on the whole team was Elijah Judy in there eating up the middle, which is going to allow for a little bit more pressure on the outside instead of having to be homed so much to just try and stopping the run. I see us getting a few. I see us getting to him. Like, he's a super mobile quarterback, so I'm not seeing a ton of sack numbers, but pressures is going to be there.
You know, you talk about it, you think that you're following Matt, which you haven't been the last couple of questions.
Well, good.
But I think I answered the exact same. Well, except for the who will have more receiving yards between the 2 players, I think I answered the exact same as you did on every question.
Oh, no.
So I am fucked.
Or we're going to have a killer week. We're going to have a killer week.
Well, you might. If I match you, I'm going to have a bad week. But maybe you can jump on my back.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Is that all the questions? That's everything?
It is.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. 3 p.m. Central Time
I will be there, by the way,
on Saturday. Oh, will you?
Yeah.
Nice. Where are you sitting?
in the stadium.
Well, that is a good place to be. Hopefully you avoid the bathrooms for at least a full quarter.
Okay. Oh,
I mean, passing out in one.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't been here before for one of those stories,
Yeah.
Jed's notorious for finding a good sleeping spot in the bathrooms.
Hey, they're comfortable. I don't know what to tell you.
It's the double rails in the stalls. It's just a good place to hold yourself up.
Two of my cousins who live in Colorado, who are not Colorado fans, by the way, they're Nebraska fans. One of them came to a game with me last year. That was his first game in Lincoln, and now his brother wants to experience his first game in Lincoln. So
Oh, wow.
now the brother is coming.
You have to give him the first game experience, too. This is going to be dangerous.
It's really there's a lot of pressure when people are like, my first game experience has to be with you. I'm like,
Yikes.
I don't know that I really do anything that special, but cool, thanks.
And this is
Okay.
your first time in the stadium this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if you find a drink that you can drink while you're in there and stay
I don't care
buzz.
about that. No.
No?
I have plenty of buzz on my way into the stadium.
It's just an interesting phenomenon to go and then you don't necessarily lose the buzz if you don't want to.
Nah,
It's kind of wild.
Nah.
But it is supposed to be a warm one. Hot, sunny, 86 degrees at kickoff. It's going to be feeling like about 95 to 100 down there on the field, I would assume, because we're not supposed to see much for wind.
Yeah.
Sunday, we're supposed to get some storms and it's going to cool off. But they're wishing that would have come a
I
couple
thought I
days
actually
earlier.
heard earlier today that there might be gusts of like 30 miles an hour, but who knows?
Not seeing it right now, but that's it's Nebraska. The weather might be completely changed in the next 4 days.
There might be a tornado that day. Who the hell knows?
if you're looking at ESPN analytics, if you're looking at anybody's analytics, it's actually pretty insane. They're ranging between like 9% chance and like a 22% chance of Michigan State winning this game. I was kind of taken aback by looking at what the spread came out as and what all these analytic metrics are looking at and saying Nebraska's supposed to just absolutely dominate this fucking game. It's pretty wild. Nebraska is favored in this game. Currently, it opened up at 10.5. They're favored at 11.5 currently. The over-under has dropped by 4 points, down from 53.5 down to 49. The money line on this thing has Nebraska at a minus 450. You're not getting any value over there. This, by all intents and purposes, looking at this, it should be a pretty darn easy game for Nebraska to run through. Did Matt give you a pick on this?
I did not get a pick from him, so I'm
going to go ahead and make his pick for him.
Yeah, he's taking Nebraska.
He's taking Nebraska. Knowing Matt, he would take Michigan State to cover because he's really bad at actually betting on the game. I do personally think Nebraska, I think you're leaning this way too. I think Nebraska's going to absolutely steamroll them on Saturday. It's not going to be a fun day for Michigan State. It's not going to be a last-minute heroics type game. I think Dylan Rhule goes ham. See him throw for 80% plus just to throw it in some more people's faces that we're talking shit. And I don't know. I think this will be a 500 plus yard day for the Nebraska offense, putting up somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 points. I hope we don't give up 25. That's just kind of where I am.
When I first heard the numbers, I heard 10.5 and I heard 53.5 for the total. And the total for me is an easy over. Like even at 53.5, I'd take the over. And you said it's at 49, 48 now. Like I don't understand. I think we could get,
I don't know why it dropped so much.
I'm clueless on that, but I'm taking the easy over as far as the total. But even at the 10.5, and I know it's up to like 11.5 now. I was kind of hesitant, to be completely honest, on taking Nebraska with the 10.5 or even the 11.5. But after I heard about all the injuries that they have, whether it's to the offensive line or to the other linebacker outside of Jordan Hall, that Matthews kid, that may or may not play. So even if he does play, who knows how much he'll play. I just don't know that they can score enough points to keep, because I was thinking initially it was going to be roughly a 10-point game. And I don't see it. You can look at the Michigan State USC game and see that Michigan State scored 30-something points against USC and think maybe they can get within 10 points, but I don't know how they get to 30. So I barely see how they get to 25. So yeah, I'm taking Nebraska with the points and I'm taking the over.
How much in this do you think, like just thinking about the overs and it going down the stretch of the game, if this is a 20-point game at halftime, how much is in the mindset of Matt Rhule in his thinking of, we still have a chance at doing something. We still have a chance at opening people's eyes about what we can do this year. It looked like we got manhandled if you watch the game, but if you were only looking at the box score, it looked like Nebraska almost pulled off the upset against Michigan. When you're looking at what the committee's going to look at down the road, if we're a 9-win, 10-win team, there's going to be some style points involved in some of that when it comes to the conference play side of things. Do you see a world where we're up by 20 at halftime and we just coast out? Or is this going to be a pedal to the metal, execute until the very last bell?
I don't think it'd be till the very last bell. I think it's somewhere in between what you just said. I think it's one of those situations where I kind of already talked about it earlier, where I think it might be going into like the beginning parts of the fourth quarter. And if it's way out of hand, then they start pulling people.
Oh, guys.
It's not like it's a Art Akron where you pull everybody at halftime. I think you do have to put a little bit of pedal to the metal, but then you can also pull back towards the very end and coast to the end. You can't coast for 2 quarters in the Big Ten.
No.
I'd even say the same thing against Northwestern or UCLA, the real bottom feeders of this conference, that you can't coast for 2 quarters. So I think that they can put the pedal to the metal for 3 plus 3 quarters after, 7-8 minutes into the fourth quarter. Let's start throttling it back.
How close are we getting to hitting that over on our own?
Well, especially with it lowering into the high 40s, I think it very well could be very close to that.
Damn.
That's kind of why I'm like, I think the total is an easy number.
Our days of being so excited about the 42 points we scored against Wisconsin last year,
44, yeah.
kind of, or 44, they're kind of behind us now, aren't they?
I mean, we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, where it's like, you know, we all want to be back, whatever back means to you, against the big boy programs and the ranked teams that we're struggling against and all those other things. But the whole other point is you have to win the games that you should win.
Yes.
And not struggle in them. And that's been one of the biggest, just annoying fucking things about this program for many years now. And this is one of those games that you just flat out take care of business.
Game 1 of October. It's time to roll. Go Big Red.
And this may be the most unbelievable night in Cornhusker football history.